as far as the discussion on FGC content, as I mentioned earlier, right after our recap, Raccoon Cup 2, which is the big collaboration between Japanese influencers, VTubers, and Street Fighter pros, happened this weekend over at Tokyo Game Show. And for those of you that missed out on Raccoon Cup 1, the view count was extremely high, right? Like, that's been the thing that people have been pushing is like over 75,000 people just watching one streamer, like over 100,000 people, over 300,000 people watching something else. I think the thing that makes the Raccoon Cup so attractive as a piece of content is the people involved really care about it, right? Like I was watching a couple of like the influencers' reactions when they were playing their matches, and like some people like were crying while they were playing because they got so nervous. They were crying when they won. They cried when they lost. They cried when their partners, like their teammates, won. They cried when their teammates lost. Like, you could tell that it meant a lot to a lot of people, right? So even though there weren't necessarily stakes, as far as I know, right? I only have like the cursory information, right? Like just context clues that I can see. So I don't know if there was like an actual prize or not, but the fact that people really cared that much just playing the game, I thought is something that, while we do have, I think in the US we're very bad at showing that we care. Right? Does that make sense? I think having people like wear their hearts on their sleeves and display how they're feeling is something that we're not very used to, right? Everybody has to have a poker face when they're fighting. And something else that I think is very interesting is this event, each team felt like a team, right? I remember watching Street Fighter League. I remember watching other team events, and it never quite felt like a team, right? It just felt like a bunch of people who barely know each other playing the game together. But because there is so much camaraderie between these content creators that they picked for these events, everybody knows everybody. They're all friends. They all like each other, or at least they pretend to. I think having that kind of a vibe and seeing like all of them like work together to make this beautiful thing is exactly what we're missing as FGC content, for FGC content, right? And this discussion all stemmed from this tweet from Lord Majin Obama, as the person who does his intro does it. This is a post by Majin Obama, and it says, "Not a competition, never has been. The point is taking the time to consider. Is our approach to content at this important moment in time a little static and complacent when it comes to trying to attract new players to our games? Are we really taking advantage of the moment?" And you can see in the screenshots here, is a bunch of Twitch streams that have like over 50,000 people watching, YouTube streams that have 16,000 people watching, 50,000 people watching, right? So you can see like the response to this event, right? And having everybody care and everybody like building up this thing has a clear effect, right? People are tuning in to watch. They're enjoying watching. Now, view count ultimately doesn't matter, right? At the end of the day, that stuff is kind of out of our control in a sense. However, and I guess I say that as maybe that's just me huffing that copium because I'm I don't get as many views or whatever. But all that to say, the way like the Crazy Raccoon Cup has been such an interesting thing to see grow, because it's something completely out of what I would think is the FGC wheelhouse. So Yeah, it's just been so interesting because seeing people outside of the fighting game community play the game for an extended period of time, right? And it's the reason why I had SFan on the show, right? Seeing SFan, like somebody like SFan who is completely outside of the fighting game community, all of a sudden like play the game, grind a game, and then go to Evo, uh, and realize like, oh shit, fighting games are dope, has been pretty damn cool. So, shout outs to Lord SFan, and the fact that we had him on the show was really really cool.